Hello everyone, it's me Azu and welcome to azuuake. In this video, I would like to talk about the baby steps in Python. Suppose you are this little baby and you have zero knowledge about programming, but you just want to learn programming. So as you are this baby right now, you can't be an expert programmer overnight, like this expert hacker or this expert programmer. So what you have to do right now, you should pick a language and practice again and again. So for in this case, I think you should go for Python. As Python is a high-level machine learning language, it's comparatively easy rather than C, C++, or Java. So I think as initially you should go with Python. Okay, when you start working on Python, you will start learning syntaxes, all syntaxes, and you start working, practicing again and again. One problem you will face, which is basically like this meme. Here's a meme. Here's Sheldon Cooper is reading something, and his reaction is why? Why is happening? Second, he is a little bit shocked, and again he is asking why. The third picture, his reaction is a little bit confusing, and he's again asking why. So his final reaction is okay. Oh, that's why. So when we start working on Python or we start learning new syntaxes in Python, we always feel like we always feel this question like why is this happening? Why this is not happening? So in this case, we should avoid this question, and not only should, we must avoid this question, and rather than we focus how everything is going on or how everything or something is happening. Why I tell this story to you is because, for example, I came to my keypad and for example I write a code which is print hello world, and I copy it, then I paste it 2 times. That's great. If I run this program right now, what will happen? Let's see. Okay, I think it will take a little bit. Oh no, it's okay right now. What we get? We get print hello world, print hello world, print hello world. Our function, and we get the output hello world, hello world, hello world. Okay. Suppose we make a little bit change here. We put a comma and we write function and equals to double quotation marks, and inside this double quotation marks I write \n. If I run this program right now, what will happen? Let's see. Nothing happened. It's similar like it was before, but if we delete this \n and we just keep this n function empty, and if we run this program right now, what will happen? Boom! Now at before, the hello function is the last hello function is at the third line. Like the first hello function is in the first line, the second one is in the second line, and the third one is in the third line. But when I delete the \n from this end function and run this program, I got that the last hello world is not in the third line. Right, it's not in the third line. Rather than it comes to the second line, and right now there's no space between these two hello world. Why? Because in Python, inside the print function, the and equal backslash n automatically work. So when we write Python equal hello world, again and again and again, the first hello world is in the first line, the second one is in the second line, and the third one is in the third line. Like, the meaning of this backslash n is to tell this print function that write this prompt and then move to the next line. But when we delete this backslash n, Python is not telling the computer or the print function that write this hello prompt and move to the next line. So as we delete this program, like we deleted this backslash n, and Python is not telling the print function to move to the next line. The third print hello world came to the second print hello world. Okay, so as if you work in C or C++, every time we declare something in print function, we have to tell print function that after line print this line, you have to move to the next line. So in every line, we have to tell the computer this backslash n. But in Python, we don't need to tell this computer automatically understand this, like print function automatically understand this, and every time it print its prompt and move to the next line. So it's a basic example, like when you are learning in Python, like it's a problem, like if you are working right now, you face that how is happening, like in C++, why I should use backslash n, at the same time when I'm working on Python, why I shouldn't use backslash n. So yeah, you get some question, you get a lot of why, but initially you have to avoid all this why and focus on the only one keyword, which is how a program is working, how a program is not working, and how everything, all stuff are going on. Okay, so our first program we can see here is print hello world, and I will the input is this one, and we got the output this one. We already have written hello world, but we again came to the keypad and write hello world, like print. Then first we write this print, then we write bracket, then we close this bracket. Inside this bracket, we use double quotation mark or single quotation mark, whatever we want. So for example, I use a double quotation. So when you press in quotation mark, there is at first position there is a quotation, and the last position there is another quotation. Inside these two quotation mark, I have to write something. What I will write inside this quotation mark is called prompt. So I write here hello world, and if I press the output button, I got boom, it's hello world. As we saw here, like how it's working, there's a function which is print, and there is a bracket, then there is another close bracket. Inside this close bracket there is a quotation mark, there is another close quotation mark. Inside these two quotation mark, whatever I will write, I will get the output the same way. So that means this is my input function and this is my output function, what output I will get. Suppose inside this print function there is a double quotation mark. So what if I use a double quotation, and a single quotation. Or I use a single quotation and a double quotation. Simply, it's if I use two different type of quotation inside the print function, what will happen? So let's check. I will write another print function, and if I print this function right now, what will happen? Guess what? What can happen? Boom! Syntax error. That means whenever I'm using a print function, the first quotation mark I will use, the second quotation mark will be the same that I use at the position first. Like for example, yes, we can see it here. For example, if we use the first quotation, we use the first second double quotation mark at first position, and we use a single quotation mark in the second position, the function will not work. At the same time, if we work the single quotation at the first position and use the double quotation at the second position, the function or the print function will not work. So the condition is whatever the quotation I'm using, the two quotation will must be true, otherwise the function won't be work. So that's all for the baby steps of Python. Hopefully in further lectures or lessons we will learn something more about Python.